Next part of the, is, I guess, the part-time employee is part of this. It's part of the budget agenda. So do you want to move into the budget amendment for
Yep. Yes.
1920? That is a figure of $166,000 for this year, and 660-some thousand in additional for a full year's worth of salaries. And Randy?
Correct. Basically, you've seen the budget modification, includes rescue revenue recovery transfer. Basically, we'd be shifting money through, basically because of the grant we received. Also, changes to IT for the doors, fire department relocation. Basically, that's already been approved. We just wanted to include it in the budget modification. And the big ticket item is salary adjustments. For a quarter of a year, the salary and fringe would basically amount to $166,155. Although, just so you know, full disclosure, over the course of a year, that would relate to $664,618. So that's just full disclosure of what the increases would be.
What, are we not talking about now the recreation position? You moved on
Yes.
to the salary
Sorry.
adjustment?
Yes.
Did we initially start talking about the?
We started talking about, but it was
Yeah.
part of the budget.
Yes,
Right, but
that's
that's-
part of the budget amendment.
Okay.
Basically, what we
I
did-
consider that separate.
Yes, okay. Give you a little detail.
Because
I
it's
guess,
listed
on
separate.
the position. Right now, of course, we retired the events coordinator as a full-time position. I think Brad has, I guess, had issues staffing events at some time. We do have a large amount of overtime generated from events. Because basically, we've got the full parks and rec staff basically on call for events like the July 4th event, basically from sun up to after sundown. Full public works, parks and rec staff is involved. You know, from the events downtown, starting at 6 o'clock all the way until after the fireworks are done.
There's a large number of events. We've increased our number of events. We've been fortunate. They've been successful. But one person gets pulled in so many different directions. It's hard to be able to give the attention that you need. So you know, at that point, that event coordinator is having to prioritize. And really at that point, if you have one person there, I don't know that anyone's getting 100%, you know, they're doing the best that they can, but to be able to have that assistant position there gives a little bit more of that detail, that little bit more of a personal approach. The hope that we can go and have more successful events and to be able to do those types of things in our downtown area. With also giving a little bit more attention to the farmers market and those types of things.
So we're thinking about hiring a person and a half. Is that what?
So basically, we
No, just one person.
Let him finish.
Okay.
We would basically the position we would be hiring an events coordinator position. My proposal is that we would that particular position we would look at having an assistant along with that position. The current assistant that I'm referring to is a part-time employee and has been with our department and would move into a full-time role.
But Brad, you're also talking about moving the regular position right now down a couple.
Down a couple grades, that's correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
And the permanent part-time position that you have in mind is already permanent part-time with benefits.
Yes,
So-
yes,
okay.
35 hours a week.
Yeah.
So the big cost is already there.
With the benefits of health insurance, although not VRS, so that would be the one additional benefit, the Virginia retirement system.
And I think did I understand that the projected start figure for this assistant is 31?
Yes.
And I think that current person is earning somewhere around 24, 25 now.
I think it's somewhere around 20, and then with the actual decrease of the grade of the pay scales for the events coordinator, that would also basically save us about $4,000 on that position. So it equals out to where it would be a little bit additional money, next fiscal year, we have the funds right now to be able to handle it.
So what we're doing, we're just going, a person who is part-time, we're making that person full-time.
That's correct.
And that's all we're doing.
That's correct.
Not just part-time, but they're permanent part-time.
Permanent
with already
part-time, I
health
understand.
benefits.
That are
That's the
already
big difference to me.
receiving.
So they're
That's
just
the big
increasing
difference.
benefits.
And then, real quickly, what's the timeline on the new hire or replacement for the?
It's advertised.
So it's advertised right now. We are receiving applications as it is. You know, we hope
Where is it
to,
advertised on?
it's on our website, on Town of Christiansburg, website for job opportunities. The hope is that we will review those applications, and it would be super to have something in line, probably towards the beginning of April is what the goal is. You know, sometimes it takes a while to get interviews scheduled and those types of things, but that would be the goal, sometime in towards the beginning of April to get that sort of going.
So accepting, one last comment, so accepting your proposal would allow some activity to begin immediately?
Yes, sir.
On getting our, you know.
Yes, sir. We've actually already started some activity now, just so that we can try to make that transition as smooth as we possibly can. But we were just waiting tonight to have an understanding of what council's pleasure was before we proceeded.
So we're thinking about opening the farmer's market first of May or after that?
No, sir. The anticipated start date of the farmer's market will be May the 22nd.
22nd, okay.
And probably end the end of September.
That's a little bit in there. There is a possibility of tying in the last farmer's market with a tailgate event. There is a Virginia Tech football game that is taking place away on a Thursday night, and so it could be an opportunity to sort of cross market for each other and bring more folks down to the market and be able to have some TVs playing and those types
What
of
day
things.
will that be on? On a Thursday?
It's a Thursday, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I thought you guys did a very nice job of that last year. It was in the afternoon though, when it was
Yes,
a
sir.
Notre Dame game.
Little chilly, but it was.
Can you guys please think about this one more time and just, we can have more events instead of having the farmer's market. We can have events on a Saturday, or it can be any other day, instead of having that farmer's market on Hickok Street. Can you please just think about this one more time until Tuesday, so you can make the right decision?
Why can't we have both?
I think we've made the right decision. We have a kind of a head nod from the 5 council members that they support the farmer's market for this year.
All right. So, instead of going straight into the salary adjustment, because there'll probably be more discussion for that, Randy, if you want to start at the top of rescue and work yourself down. I do want this position to be separate. So, I will say I support moving the part-time person with benefits up to full-time, which will aid in events and somewhat with the farmer's market.
And there is,
So I have my support on that.
We'll ultimately need to vote to approve.
Well, we'll
the
vote on
budget
Tuesday,
amendment.
but
And I agree with.
The
I
meeting
agree
here
with
is
that
to
too.
say whether we want it in the amendment that we're going to vote on.
And it should be added to the farmer's market charges. It shouldn't be printing and supplies either.
Well, Val can change the chart of accounts code.
I can add a contract services for
There you go. Problem
those
solved.
kinds
Thank
of
you.
events.
But I guess, is everybody needs to weigh in. You're not voting, but whether or not,
Is everyone
because
okay
this is
with
going to be,
that aspect of the
Consensus,
budget?
to
consensus of
Increase.
including this in the budget amendment.
huh?
Just trying to get a consensus of
Yeah.
including that in the budget amendment or not.
I mean, so the events coordinator is already in our budget,
That's
that's what
already
you're
in.
saying.
Correct.
And now we're just moving the part-time guy up to full-time, okay? And we think that there's gonna be enough, and that part-time guy is gonna be head of the farmer's market. Is that initially what's on everybody's
whoever
mind?
that person is, we say
Okay.
guy,
He'll
doesn't
be
necessarily.
assisting in the farmer's market.
Okay,
Okay, he will,
And the events coordinator will be the head person.
that's correct. They would
So you have a
oversee the
person and a
entire
half, okay.
item. The events coordinator would oversee all special events, all events into the town of Christiansburg, and ultimately be responsible for the farmer's market. The assistant position would assist them in that to try to give more detailed and attention to certain things within the special events as well as the farmer's market and those types of things.
Now, what about during the winter? Let's say January, February and all that.
We do events then too.
Okay, okay. And I know sometimes you have to hire a lot of people in the winter just to help with basketball and all that. Could these guys do that too?
Well, these guys are gonna have, I mean, these folks are, as a department, we work together as a team, and, you know, a lot of times when we have special events and those types of things, our entire department is there, so it you know, it doesn't necessarily, you know, if you're a youth sports supervisor and we have an event going on, it's all hands on deck, you know, and that's how we do it, and that's how we're able to be successful in what we've been able to do, and those types of things would happen, but the thing to understand is like, from a special event standpoint, there's really no downtime. You know, in the wintertime, maybe there's not quite as many events, but that's the time that you're doing the legwork to try to get things prepared and scheduled for the next, you know, the next year. It's the time that we should be going and looking at, you know, the farmer's market, reaching out to vendors. What can we do to be better? You know, what are those types of things? And so being able to have that additional detail and just time towards it helps with all of those things.
Being as quick as I am, I take it that you support both of these things, okay?
Yes, sir, I do.
I have asked unofficially, I understand I have no power according to council, but I have asked the people that were meeting about the special events meeting, I've asked them to reach out to any vendors that may have an interest in a Saturday morning. But I think what we're gonna find is, just like Pulaski, is that the vendors that we have are committed to 3 and 4 other farmers markets on Saturdays, and there just is not enough staff of theirs to support another Saturday morning. I'd love to have one on Thursday and one on Saturday. Bother me.
Well, we may end up with that, but for now.
But for now,
we're
but
turning
I've asked
over-
them to at least pose the question.
And I think it's great, yeah, and that's the next phase of this. The first thing is, are we doing it? What we're saying?
Yes, that's done. What are we on, rescue now?
Well, the overall budget amendment, yeah.
Yeah. Is everybody fine with moving on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we can talk about programming until
We
next
can
year.
revisit the fact that you guys are not listening to the public. That is what you guys need to realize.
I
The
take offense
farmer's
to that.
market. Well, you're not
Absolutely.
listening to it, because
Yes,
all
I
you're doing is
am.
going to different people that have nothing to do, as a matter of fact. Like, for example,
Explain
if
to me
you
how
are
Pam
so
Ray doesn't have
into
anything
the
to
farmer's
do with
market,
the
you don't
farmer's
even
market.
go to the farmer's market. You have not even been at the meetings for the farmer's market. So
I'm
you
sorry,
come
Miss
over
Hicks.
here showing out
Henry,
like you are.
where do you wanna go next?
We need to
Unreal.
move on with the
We're gonna move
budget
on.
amendment.
We're done with the farmer's
Or
market, any discussion about it.
And accusations like that are not appreciated.
We're going on.
We're moving on.
Move on.
Okay, so,
The rescue change, as I mentioned, is basically because of a grant that they have received for monitors. We have a savings in that, and they would like to be able to use that savings in regards to camera system installation at the station. And see, the Lucas CPR devices, camera system's $26,000, and the Lucas CPR devices are $35,609. We'd still be good to the $6,725 under the budget.
So this is really not costing us any additional thing, we're just
It's
transferring money.
transferring money that we have basically from savings from getting a grant.
And this is what they want.
Correct. The fire changes, like I say, they've actually already been approved. They didn't have to be part of a budget amendment. We're just including in the budget amendment for clarification. The IT security doors issue we talked about with Finance Committee. Basically, our key card access, our magnetic access to the doors, the software for that is no longer supported, and we feel that that's necessary to be upgraded. What we are proposing is to basically change one capital item from this year for a capital item that was scheduled for next year. So basically, just our new IT director thinks that the door security access is a bigger priority. And of course, the salary adjustments Again, I mentioned the total impact on the total annual budget would be $664,618, although for a 3-month period, it'd be $166,155.
I'll go and get the conversation started. I'm in favor of everything on the budget amendment except the salary adjustments, which I understand the basis for those, and I'd like to dig into that in more detail, but I would like to set that aside and consider that with our overall budget. I'll go on the record to say I'm in charge of everything.
Is there a slide presentation on that thing that could be shown if you want to see the I don't know. Now, if y'all.
I don't want to end this amendment.
I'm not biting on a
part of the
$650,000 commitment
I
right now.
understand.
That's kind of a shock. I mean,
It's a
where did
huge
this
shock.
come from?
Is it $10,000 or whatever the amount is for the security, for the doors, for the rec center, included in the budget?
Yeah. They have funds, you have funds in your budget now to make that increase from the part-time to full-time.
Yes, sir. Mhm. Yes,
Do
sir.
you have
So it's
money?
not, it's not costing
So
us any more money to
Casey
do
was
that.
on a few months, I think.
It'll be part of his adjustment, his budget.
And this really did stem from the recruitment and retention presentation from November of 2019. And one of the options that was laid out and then it was pursued by our previous human resources director. And that was the genesis.
It was just a big request with a short fuse, and that's not the way I'm comfortable moving ahead without digging into that in more detail and actually looking at that. So that's,
I agree with you, Brad. I feel like this to me is quick, like no notice, and I surely am very uncomfortable approving something of that nature without a lot more
Make
research.
it part of the overall budget discussion.
Yes.
But I would like, Randy, when you come, and I'm only speaking for myself, when you come with this increase, is to at least give us some sort of tier option over the next 3 or 4 years.
Yes.
The $664,000
That's a lot of money.
in one budget, I mean, and I support, definitely paying our people worth their work, but there's a point where we can't do it all at once. And we've shown that last year, and we only did a few last year. So I'd like, me personally, you to bring options that will let me out, for me to support.
That's a good point.
Agreed, yeah.
So we're basically in favor of the first several things. Actually, we're saving $675,000.
everything but
Or
that for now.
How much is that then?
$6,750.
What is the total
Budget
amount?
amendment, does it?
I'm sorry?
The other day, doesn't have to be a budget amendment, does it?
Yeah, it's,
We're beyond
it's really
Well,
nothing
they need
except
to,
for.
yeah, they need
us.
to approve the additional revenue.
So that
We've
would
taken
include
that
those
out.
Capital items and
This
for
is
the new
even-
FTE.
This is even.
Oh, no, we don't have to advertise it,
This
because
case
it's
is
way under.
gonna, this is gonna be covered
Take
till the end of the
the
year.
payroll change out. It doesn't have to be advertised, so they could actually take it up.
But
If we
this
had
is
done
the
that-
third amendment we have done within a year, isn't it?
Right.
If the other changes are agreeable, we don't actually have to do it as a budget amendment because of the dollar amount.
It has to be an amendment, it has to be a budget amendment, but it doesn't have to have a budget hearing
Yes.
because it's
So we can
small
vote
Sounded
Tuesday.
dollars.
100?
So you can vote on it next week.
We can vote Tuesday.
With $6,750 saving. $6,750.
Pretty much.
Okay,
So that's it.
That's
That's all
it.
we need this evening.
I hear a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second? Second. We're adjourned. Thank you very much.